pride of Staffa, Ontario, Lexi Templeman joining me on Women's Hockey Weekly, and this is the first time we've had a chance to catch up, at least on camera, since the end of last season when you made the All-CHA rookie team. You had really a fabulous first year of college hockey. So, I mean, just, you're a couple series into this season already. As you've dove into this season and kind of looking back on last year, though, what are you most proud about that first collegiate season?
I'm really happy with the way my last season went. Obviously, my first few weekends last year were hard, trying to get used to the speed and the pace of the game. But I think once I caught on, and the seniors helped a lot last year, it started going really well for me and things started clicking. So hopefully able to bring that into this year as well and help some of our freshmen out like our upperclassmen did for me last year.
And to your point, you've been playing a lot with Leah Marino, one of this year's rookies, and Janie Sandoval, who, of course, came into the program last year, but has just gotten around to getting into the lineup as a regular this year. Has that experience helped you kind of make them comfortable?
Yeah, I think it's definitely made me a bigger person and made me feel like I have a bigger role on the team, because it is hard for them, but it's hard for me as well. None of us have played together, and we're all coming from different stages where we're at. But definitely bringing everyone together and working together and figuring out a way to get the job done has definitely made me a bigger person, I think, and it's definitely helped out our team a lot, I feel.
You are the proverbial jack of all trades as a I mean, you have played literally on every line at some point, not just the last season, but this season. Is that challenging at all? And if so, how do you how are you able to juggle that challenge of working with different players all the time?
Yeah, it's definitely hard, and it's never easy to work with different people and get thrown in with different people during the game. But I think the biggest thing is communication. And our team does a fabulous job of that. You can get thrown out with anyone at any time, and everyone's willing to work it out and figure out a way to get the job done. So I think everyone's on the same page that way, and they know people are getting juggled lines. So I think that, honestly, communication's the biggest thing. And it is challenging, but we figure out a way to get through it.
Let's talk about how you feel about the Clarkson series, because I think a lot of people would walk away, having watched that series saying, okay, on this team's best day, they can play with literally anybody, and they demonstrated that. How do you feel after those two games on the road?
Honestly, I feel like we had a really good weekend. We played our brand of hockey, and we outshot them very bad in the third period of the first game, and we won the third period in the second game 2-0. So, I mean, it just shows that we can play with the top teams in the country, and we're right there with them. And if we bring our brand of hockey, I think we can beat anyone in the country, and that's just proven. So we had a really good weekend, and I think we can beat anyone.
Well, we will see if you can beat RPI this weekend. They're another ECAC team, of course. A couple of afternoon games coming up at Colonials Arena, 3:05 Friday, 3:05 Saturday. And, of course, you've got the women's-men's doubleheader on Friday, by the way, as the men open their season against Bowling Green at 7 o'clock on Friday night. What have you guys been discussing going into the RPI series, in terms of just, like you said, things you can build upon from that last series as you try to get 4 points this weekend?
Yeah, obviously it's hard to lose, coming into a week of practice after you lose both games, but just knowing how good we played and how we can compete with anyone is honestly the mentality that we're going into with next week, that we can stay there in the game with the top team in the country, that we can stay in the game with anyone else. We got to come in not overconfident and take it like we did just against Clarkson, act as if this is a top team in the country, and I think we'll be just fine.
Reach for the stars, but keep your feet on the ground. I like it. I like what I hear. Lexi Templeman, sophomore forward, and the Colonials coming off a pretty good showing in Clarkson, and this time looking to definitively break into the win column as they take on the Engineers. Thanks, Lexi.
Thank you, Matt.